I lost you.
Okay.
All right.
We're
Who's
all,
first? Do you want
we'll,
to kick off or?
yeah, you're the chief cook and bottle washer, so
Okay, so got a lot of
good.
bottles around here.
Yep.
Um, okay, so welcome this afternoon to what is probably a fairly impromptu little session that we've put together, or Dave's put together. I haven't had anything at all to do with it.
Mhm.
Basically, I see we're calling it a mini TTSO. It's probably not really a mini TTSO, but it's something that we might have talked about in a TTSO, but it has a time dimension to it that probably can't wait until the next TTSO. Next TTSO, TTSO 20, is scheduled to be in April on Easter Monday, in line with NACAR, which is happening in Tamworth. Now, I've put some paperwork in for that only just recently. I haven't heard anything back yet, so we can't go off and spruiking it yet to make sure that it's actually going to happen. But that's the plan that we're working to at the moment. So this is something that's a more immediate issue that Dave felt we need to share. Good idea. We should probably do more of these along the way. And even some of our training type stuff, familiarization software, things that we did in the last TTSO could be done this way if something came up. Totally open to any suggestions on that. So with that, we've allocated 2 hours this afternoon. I have no idea if we're going to use up 2 hours. Dave Harold's not here, so we stand a chance. So I'll hand over to you, Dave.
Right. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. I think the best thing to do is I'll share. I'll start off Haristo, and if you sharing is not turned on. Okay.
Yeah, I think Dave, so it's mostly your stuff, obviously your announcement. So I think you
Yep.
should, discuss, but I'm here to answer questions and
Share.
share.
Okay.
Help or
Get out of the way, you. Minimize. Right. And can I put that over there? Yes, I can. I was going to start off with a mini PowerPoint presentation that people who don't know how even predictions work will get a brief intro. I suppose slideshow from the beginning. So that's what I've called it. Asteroid prediction via Occult Watcher Cloud. You need two things to generate a prediction for an asteroid occultation. The first one is a star catalog. What we use for our predictions is a version of the Gaia catalog that's generated by Dave Harold. And there's the horrible Gaia 18-digit identification number, and Dave Harold. I don't know whether any of that's directed at me. Dave Harold and I agree that no one wants to type that sort of number into your system. So Dave is maintaining a hierarchical system of identification of stars, starting at the brightest, which is Hipparchos stars, Tycho stars. The vast bulk of stars are UCAC4 identifiers, and those that still not identified from Gaia get a J coordinate number. Right ascension, declination, magnitudes, blah, blah, blah. The other thing you need is an asteroid orbit. An asteroid orbit, I don't quite know how many parameters are in the mathematical formula that describes the orbit of an asteroid around the sun, but there's some. And my favourite asteroid, or one of my favourite asteroids, is 4337 Arecibo, for obvious reasons. And there you can see its orbit plotted around the sun, safe in the outer asteroid belt. And when you run a prediction, you give it a range of dates, from 1st of January to the 31st of January or whatever. Occult, in its memory, plots where the asteroid will be between those dates, and then from the center of the Earth, it will figure out what stars the asteroid will pass by during that range of dates. And then it will figure out where the shadow of the asteroid from those stars will fall upon the Earth. So this is a typical window of occult, where you enter the range of dates, pick a star catalogue, and in this particular case, I've selected one asteroid, and it's found all those stars between those two dates. And we get a list of events that you can click on. You can further search through listing, sites and things. So this is, and you get the typical prediction plot, which lists everything about the star, asteroid, and the event itself. Now, for the last 15 or so years, I've been running predictions under the various banners, usually something to do with Trans Tasman, and making them public via either my personal website, which is now defunct, or via Occult Watcher Cloud. And this particular search here, where I search, I end up producing 31 files, and then I start to blend them in different ways. And this particular search here of the Gaia 9 catalogue on my computer of 657,441 asteroid takes my computer about 6 hours. And you do that for each particular stellar catalogue and a different combination. It takes me about 3 or 4 days to churn through the list every month around the 26th to the 27th, 28th. I do it, and it's time consuming, and probably not very efficient, mainly because I can't, using the occult tools, I can't pick all the different sites that people live at. So the best I can do is I've divided our region up into 5 zones: Sydney, Melbourne, Southeast Queensland, New Zealand, South Australia, and WA. So this is the way I get rid of, I filter out all events that are going to pass up the Tasman Sea or up through Siduna and across the top end. Then they're of no interest to us, so I try and filter them out. But you still get about, on a monthly basis, I get about 6,000 events, and of that, probably only about best part of 100 are actually get positives, and probably about another 200 get misses of some description. So that sort of quantity from 5,000 is not very efficient. So there has to be a better way. Oh, yes, here we go. So I 33 events, 33 files I end up producing every month, and I merge those down into 5, which are uploaded to Occult Watcher Cloud, and then it comes down to the Occult Watcher. So you'll see, you'd all be familiar with all these events when they turn up. They're highlighted in black, the new events or updated events. So that's how it works now, and I wish to step down, and I would like to introduce a better way, and that better way is the product of Histro. So correct me if I'm wrong, Histro. If people's username and password that they use for Occult Watcher, that will work in Occult Watcher Cloud?
Yeah, that's correct. If you want, I can maybe just briefly explain. Thank you for for showing exactly how events predictions are generated by you. I can probably give a quick tour of how Occult Watcher Cloud does its predictions before we actually go to the predictions.
That'd be good. Yep.
Yeah. So basically, there's no there's no easy way or no other way. So Occult Watcher Cloud has the word occult in it for a reason, and Occult Watcher has the word occult in it for a reason, and the reason is Dave Herod's occult, because all the events are generated exactly the same way. So all of the catalogs and asteroids are picked. There's a bunch of parameters, which include things like you're probably familiar with if you've done your own predictions. They include the maximum magnitude or the faintest magnitude of the stars that you want included. It includes the maximum duration of the event, stuff like that. And then as you run the predictions, it will generate predictions. So with the introduction of Occult Watcher Cloud, which is now, I can't believe, but it's almost 5 years. What I actually did is I decided to run all of the predictions on the server. So basically what Dave's PC was doing for our region in Australia and New Zealand, Occult Watcher's Cloud's server is all the time running predictions for the entire world. And the parameters it's using right now is all stars down to magnitude 16 and all events which have a maximum expected duration of 0.2 seconds or more. And what's happened next is that there's some other small a little logic to exclude some of the events which may not be observable. For example, the completely daytime events. I'm not sure exactly what other things I do right now, but some of the other events are excluded as well. Every single numbered asteroid is, by the way, included in Occult Watcher's Cloud's predictions. So what happens is that the predictions are generated in a tranche of 2 days right now. And it takes the server about 1 day, maybe a bit more than 1 day, to run the predictions for a 2-day period over the entire the entire Earth. So if the computer was slower, for example, or I was trying to generate more events, then there wouldn't be enough time to continuously generate predictions. Dave, do you want to just open up Occult Watcher Cloud instead of me trying to share? I just want to quickly show something.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, just open a web browser and go to cloud.occultwatcher.net. And then if you can please click on the events tab. Yeah, this one. And then you can see there was a quick info showing that currently there's 3.5 million events available for a period of time. And the period of time which is shown there is 1 week before today up to 2 months in the future. So this is the active period where events can be found in Occult Watcher, and that's the number of events which are available. So once they're found, they're included in the OWC's internal database, and they're available for searching, basically. So what would have happened before, and maybe this now may become a bit confusing, but the fact that the event is included in OWC does not mean that it gets delivered to your Occult Watcher desktop application, because that's too many events. Obviously, very, very few of these will end up being observed, and even fewer will get a positive detection. So one thing which we used to do in the past, which we found that was working, was that there was the conception of feeds, and this existed even before OWC. So before, instead of Dave uploading his events to OWC, he was putting them on his website, and then everyone's Occult Watcher application would download the events that they've selected from his website. But this is all, migrated to the cloud now, and what's happening is that the events need to be tagged. That's a concept in OWC. And a tag is basically a feed or something which makes the event more interesting and searchable in a certain way. And the Dave's events were tagged by, what's your tag name again? Trans Tasman, right?
Trans Tasman, yes.
Yeah, it's currently called Trans Tasman. So that's the tag. So when Dave uploads his events he generated, basically this is matched against the events in OWC, and the ones that are found that Dave has selected because they've actually been manually selected. I'm not sure if you do any. I think you do any additional criteria. So you don't just include every single event in your 5 regions, right? You also want them to be of a certain duration, start brightness, stuff like that.
Yes, I filter out.
Yes. So, but basically they have been selected already by Dave as events that are worth trying because they have nice set of parameters, like they're long enough, the star is not too faint, stuff like that. So when they're uploaded, they're tagged, and then this is how they appear as the Trans Tasman tag events. And then everyone's Occult Watcher desktop is now querying the OWC, and if you have subscribed for the feed from the checkbox in Occult Watcher, then all these events are coming down to you. And this is how it works. The remaining of the events, which is the vast majority, I would say 99.9% probably of all the events which are available for searching, are available for searching from the web interface right now. And I think this is where I'm going to return it back to you, Dave, maybe.
Okay. So we got.
Sorry, and just to answer your question was would the username and password that works for Occult Watcher work for Occult Watcher Cloud? Yes,
Yeah.
It's exactly the same account.
Okay, so if nobody's actually visited Occult Watcher Cloud, you may have to log on to. In my case, you click on it'll be up on this top right hand corner, and that's my logon details. It hasn't got the password here, so that's the profile that you'll have to update, and that's the you'll have to select your time zone, and set up an observing site that the Occult Watcher Cloud will generate predictions, or at least search and find predictions for a site. Is there any restrictions on how many sites you might have, Hristo?
I don't know, to be honest, but you can have definitely multiple sites.
Okay, so if you've got a favorite site that you might want to go to, mobile to 100 kilometers down the road, then you could generate predictions if you set up a site. So that's my site. And that's all pretty straightforward. And the next thing you'll need to do is to.
Just
Sorry?
one other quick question. Do people think that it may be useful to just get a quick run through of the basic functionality that is possible to be used in Occult Watcher Cloud, or do you just want to go straight to how we're going to do the searches now? This
Well,
and I can do that
okay.
if you want.
Yep, good.
Okay, so can you click on events, Dave? Sorry, I'm not going to
Events.
share my
Yeah,
screen.
I can.
Yeah. Sorry, what was about to say?
No, that's all right. I was just the dog has come in and
Okay.
said hello.
Yeah, so basically, if you are logged in, you're going to see more of the links at the top compared to if you're not logged in, just because some of these options require you to be logged in. The event search was or the events, when you click on events, is a very basic search. And what this could be useful for is if you're searching, for example, for a particular event for a given asteroid at a given date. And maybe you're just looking because someone else observed this event, or you just want to find this event for some other reason, just to have a look at it. And then this is this page. You can put your object, you can put the event date, you search for a number of days, and then you just do search. Yeah, you can find one of them if you want, just to show.
The 8th, and you'll type in 14648. And this is one I've tagged myself in for. If we finish early and it's clear. So that's a summary of what work through that, Hristo?
Yeah, sure. So when you clicked on the event, so once you found an event, or even if you have a link, so one of the good things about OWC is that you can share a link to an event. The link would never change. So you can send it via email or other ways, and people can open the link in their web browser, and it will go exactly to the same place. So what you see right now is the basic page for a prediction or an event. And then what you have is in the top, you have the basic information, basically what's the asteroid. The closest approach is the closest approach to Earth. It's not related to your sites or anything like this. This is basically that the closest approach is at this time. Then you have information about the star, magnitude, drop, stuff like this. You can click on the star, and there's some other links that you can explore basically. And then on the left, on the right hand side, you have this globe. So this is the new OWC way of showing brief information about where the path goes over the Earth. And then underneath, you can see the familiar Occult Watcher plot for where the shadow goes and who may have subscribed for this event. Okay. On the left-hand side, you have predictions. And one of the things about OWC is that you can actually contain multiple predictions of the same event. So maybe in the past, when I started thinking about this whole project, the idea was that people may have multiple predictions. And back then, it wasn't clear whether Horizons, for example, would provide the best possible prediction orbit, or maybe some of the researchers like Lucky Star or some of the other European or American professionals that run campaigns may have better predictions, basically. So the whole idea was that you have multiple predictions, and it will tell you what it is. In this case, Dave generated the prediction with Occult using the standard orbits. And then this is his prediction. That's the second one. And then the top one is the one generated by OWC after that. So once the event has been tagged, OWC will periodically, I think it's once a day, will check whether there was a new orbit released for the asteroid. And if there was a new orbit released, it will go and update all of the predictions of this asteroid that have been tagged. And in this case, it generated a new prediction. And then you can see, for example, that the error bars went down. So error in path widths, that's this column. So from 3.86 went down to 0.15 path widths.
Yeah, okay.
And the error in time is from 3 seconds to 0.3 seconds, and it shows you the shift between the two, which is 23 kilometers.
Yes. So I used to predict my feed using Minor Planet Center MPC ORB. That's the list of orbits, and Gaia DR3. And as Hristo said, immediately gets updated using Horizons.
So it's not immediate because it takes some time for the server to process, and depends how many are in the queue. It might actually take a couple of hours. But from a point of view that you upload these predictions well in advance, it's really immediate.
Yes.
So next thing that you do is you can click on one of the predictions, or so if you click on the globe, it will open the default prediction.
Yep.
But you can just click on one of the predictions and see how the predictions, the actual prediction path is going to go.
Okay, so you can zoom out and zoom in. That's Peter and myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have other additional information on the site. And then if you didn't subscribe, so if you didn't announce a station for this, there'll be an extra bar at the bottom of the Occult Watcher plot where you can submit a new station. So you can also do this if you right click anywhere. So this is what happens. And then it will tell you, well, that's the location, that's the distance. And then if you press submit, it will submit a new station.
Okay, and then
on
my other screen, I will synchronize Occult Watcher to see how long that takes to come through. Okay, that new site.
Yes.
So.
And basically that's it. And if you scroll down, you have some information like error bars, which are kind of nicely plotted. And then you have the actual occultation elements in occult format if you want to use this somewhere else.
And Peter Shuttle, who runs Astrid, will be cutting and pasting this data into the Astrid controller so that Astrid knows all about an occultation he's interested in.
Okay.
That's pretty neat, I think. But
do you want to go back quickly to the first tab, which was the simple event search?
Yeah.
So can I ask a question first?
Yeah, yes, sure. Anybody, please ask.
This might be a feature request for that page you were just on, the prediction page.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you go back to that,
the third one, Dave.
Prediction page.
I've got a banner coming up to say it's being recorded. Okay, the prediction page. Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes, well, I don't know if maybe it has this feature, but I can't find a link on that page to get back to the event. And I know you can use the back button, or go to another tab. But sometimes people post links on forums and emails direct to this page.
Yeah.
So to get back to the event, you have to edit the URL to get back.
That's what I do. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, which is a bit of a pain, but yeah.
Do we have a link?
Maybe.
That's the feature.
Yeah.
The backspace key.
Yeah. So
okay.
So
that's it.
That site I just put in randomly has now appeared in Occult Watcher. So that's how fast it is. So.
Okay. Do you want to go back to the simple event search?
Can I ask another question?
Maybe.
If go back to
as long as it's not a feature request, Peter.
Yeah, go back to the Occult Watcher desktop view.
Yeah, go.
And you'll notice there on the path graphic.
Mm-hmm. This one.
Yeah. See, there's where it says PN.
PN, yes.
That's me.
Yep.
Oh, okay. The other one's you, isn't it?
Yep.
It's just that I've noticed when I announce a station via Occult Watcher Cloud, and then it appears in my Occult Watcher desktop, it doesn't appear at the same place as my default site.
Yeah.
So then there's two together.
I had that trouble too. And you have to go into Occult Watcher Cloud and make sure the coordinates and the altitude are set up correctly.
Right,
I
okay.
had the altitude at 0, and
Yeah, okay, that might be what's happening.
yeah, so make sure that that's all up to date, and it should be sweet.
Okay,
If
thanks.
it's not, shout.
Yep.
Okay. Any more questions? Right. Go back to here. Yep.
Okay, so what we just did was we did a quick search by asteroid ID and date. The other two tabs, search by star. So maybe that's rarely going to be used, but if you're searching for an event from a particular star, you can try to find it.
Yep.
And then the other one, which is probably going to be searched more often, is the search past events. So before I go there, another quick explanation. As you saw, Occult Watcher Cloud keeps what I call transient events. These are the 3.5 million events for a period of 1 week prior to 2 months ahead. And these events are available all the time to be searched, but obviously I cannot keep these events forever because for 3 years, you can imagine what's the number of events going to be. And however, if someone has tagged an event, then this event is actually going to be available for searching for a period of time, which from memory is a month. And then if the event has been not just tagged, but also has observers that have submitted a station, this will be kept forever at this point. So what they've just shown is that if you're searching a past event that you may have observed of an asteroid, so one thing you can do is you can, search by asteroid and go and find there. But the other thing which I wanted to show, Dave, if you go back to simple event search, you can remove the asteroid ID, and then you can remove the date as well, and just type an observer name. You can just type your name, Gault, or type my name, and then okay, let's see when was the last time I observed. So, so this will take a little longer because it's a different type of search. But basically, it's going to show you all of the events that you have signed up for and observed. And if you put a date as well, then this will search for events that you have observed at a particular date.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how, because I'd sometimes get asked, hey, how can I find my old events that I've observed? So this is how you can find them.
What date was that? 30th of November. Oh, that'd probably be better. That'll do.
Yeah, so the logic there is that a maximum of 10 events, so it will find the 10 closest events to that date, and it will show them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And some of them are positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Being
the one
recorded
Bill got, and we
quotation.
all had misses.
Yeah.
Good on you, Bill.
Okay. So that's basically the simple, what I call a simple event search.
Good.
And then after that, tags and campaigns, not really a lot of stuff to explain. And maybe we just go to the next.
Well, before you do that,
yep.
This is a sneak look at the Trans Tasman, what do you call it? Where everything's kept. For every event, I go to that search page and take a screenshot, so I know Dean Hooper got a positive, but if it was going by, if John Broughton announced a site and he hadn't sent in an observation report, he'll get a nag from me to say, you haven't submitted a report yet, John. I didn't observe, sorry, whatever. So I use that when I'm processing events from the Trans Tasman repository of data. So that's very handy. And if you can look around the world too, see what's happening in Europe, and it's all transparent. Okay. Anything else?
Okay.
Tags? Do you want to talk about?
No, don't worry about this. So the tags are just a different tags that are available, and
Yeah.
you can see what they are. Campaigns is kind of similar. It just shows you an information at the high level of their tags again, but they're called campaigns because they're from the professionals. That's
Yeah,
what
well,
I call them.
that's the one that that Peter and I
Yeah.
maintain for Seabed Moons. Okay.
Chris, a quick question.
Yeah.
So Dave sort of described what he does for the Trans Tasman, what's the back work he does for the Trans Tasman feed. Is it different for the other feeds?
No, it's not. So basically, everyone needs to do, well, with some exceptions. Yeah. So there's two ways the tagging can work. One of them is by manually uploading events. The thing is that you can manually upload only events which are in the time window which currently Occult Watcher Cloud has its transit events for. So that's 2 months ahead, which means that every month or every week, or I'm not sure how often Dave and the other code and tag maintainers do that. They need to generate events with a code, and they need to upload the file.
Yeah, I do it monthly.
Some other people, for example, the Gaia Moons project, and Steve Preston as well with his IOTA quotations, and then I think there was someone else as well. What they do is they generate an annual list of events, and they pretty much ask me, hey, I don't really want every month to go and upload files. Can I just give you a file for the whole year? So there's another way, and I have automatic tagging basically, but again, they have to provide the Occult XML file with all of the events that they want tagged. And they give me this file, and I do something on the server and just make sure that every time when the window moves, just because OWC adds another 2 days of extra events, I find the one which they want automatically tagged, and they are tagged. So this is how the Gaia Moon and across, maybe across as well, I'm not sure. And then Steve Preston's events as well are getting tagged.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. So the original idea was that the simple event search. So when I built that, one of the reasons was to move away from the websites that everyone had to manually upload events, and to basically decentralize or centralize rather what Occult Watcher Desktop would have been doing. Because before OWC, every single instance of Occult Watcher Desktop everywhere that people would be running will have to go to many websites and go and download events from there and try to process them basically. So what I did is I made this a bit easier to do by having an API with Occult Watcher Cloud. And initially, I didn't know how people would like to use OWC, and not a lot of functionality was there. So I built the simple search. But then in the recent, maybe 1 year, I just thought, hey, we have, yeah, you can click on the filters first. Please.
Filters.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, hey, how can we make all of these millions of events available that nobody, knows about, more easily findable? Or this was part of the problem of all of the steps that Dave and the other tag maintainers go to filter the events in a code. So he was explaining, runs against different catalogs, different duration, and then eventually combines everything in a single file. So I did a lot of, well, not a lot, but some experimentation to try to figure out a formula or a way to find good events based on everyone's specific requirements, which would include how big telescope they have and everything like this. And then this is what you can do right now. So it's possible to define filters, and this is what's in the filter.
Yeah.
So there's a limit of 3 filters per person that you can store on OWC.
Mm-hmm.
So you can say, as Dave has only one. I have one main filter which I use, and then you have stuff like what's the star magnitude and what's the minimum duration in seconds, and if you want magnitude drop, stuff like that. What's your telescope aperture?
Yep.
An important one is the detection in frames. So this means how many So if you were to record the maximum predicted duration of an event, how many frames did you want to record, assuming you were running close to your limits, basically? And 3, I think, is a good number. If you want more, you can put 4. And then the very last thing is, I'm going to talk about this later, the MAC adjust. So basically, the aperture and the detection frames turned out to be sufficient to be able to do a good filter among all of the possible events and actually find observable events. So that's the only thing you need, really. You need your telescope size. That's the only thing. And the detection frames, I think most people will, you can show this page. Most people would use 3 detection frames, but you can use multiple. So that's the formula I discovered or deducted from the testing that I did. And basically, it only really depends on the aperture of the telescope, the detection frames, and the maximum duration of the asteroid.
Well, that's the big difference between what I've been doing, because I've got to do a public feed, so I can't put in telescope data because Peter Nosworthy's got a C11, I've got a M12, someone else has got an 8-inch a C8. So I think that's a big improvement, to be able to generate or find events for your telescope.
So we've been running this for quite a bit of time, probably more than a year, to try and search for events. With the MAC adjust, so that's an adjustment nudge kind of factor thing you can play with. So everyone's sky is different. Some have more darker skies, darker skies, other ones don't. The MAC adjust of 0, which is the default one for the formula, is usually going to find more events that you can actually observe. So some of them will be very close to your limits, unless you really have a completely dark sky. But you can experiment with 0 and see whether you see too many events that you're not interested in, and then you can adjust on one side or the other. And there's an explanation. So I think minus would mean find less events, and plus would mean find more events.
Yeah. So there's
yeah. And then the other thing you need to put in your filter, obviously, is the location, which is to the right. So this is your site that has to be configured from a profile.
Yes.
And then the distance, which is that's kind of similar to the way Occult Watcher desktop does this. So we can go, I want 100 kilometers from the 1 sigma edge. I recently added another type of filtering. I'm not sure whether, Dave, you've noticed or someone else, but if you click on the drop down on the from. Yeah, up. So see 1 sigma edge. If you just click on the drop down.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
So these are the different options. So there's from the center, from the shadow edge, from the 1 sigma edge, and see, from the shadow edge.
Yep.
Yes, in path width. Sorry. So this is shadow edge in path width. That's the last one, the last option.
Oh, right.
So the actual difference is that so sometimes a measure in kilometers is not necessarily very useful, because it depends on the prediction. So this last one is based on path widths, and I think this is also kind of relevant for people who are looking for asteroid moons.
Yes.
So it's known that well, don't quote me on this, but I think I've read this somewhere in a paper that if a moon orbits an asteroid, it's expected that an asteroid will not be able to hold a moon if it's further away than 10 times the size of the asteroid.
That's the Hill radius.
Yeah. Okay. So if you choose this one, which is shadow edge in path widths, then you can no 100 is too many. See your max distance in path widths.
Ah.
So you don't want 100.
Oh, what have I done? Okay.
You want 10.
10. Yeah.
Yes.
I
However,
got all excited there.
so if you do that, you will see a lot more events
Mm.
than what you probably you may want to observe, because this will include events where they have a very small error of a big body, and if the body, for example, is 50 kilometers, this is one of the large asteroids. So 10 path widths of 50 kilometers is 500 kilometers. So this could be an event where a large asteroid 50 kilometers is 500 kilometers away from you. So
Yep.
if you do this type of search, this will give you a lot more events, but may be more relevant if you're interested to observe those events. If you're really interested in more getting a positive, let's say, and you want to observe mostly in the shadow of the asteroid, then probably a filter like 100 kilometers from the center or from the shadow would be more appropriate. But that's again for everyone to decide to do.
Okay. Well,
their
I'll
own
have a
thing.
play with that.
Yeah.
That's very good. Yep.
So the other two options, let's go to the green one first. So green one, this is stuff like, hey, I can't observe less than 10 degrees, and I think 10 is really small. So I think that 15 is probably better, but this is up to everyone individually. Again, they'll be excluded automatically. Then for the sun, what's the sun altitude? So the event you've subscribed, by the way, Dave and Peter, tonight, which the sun will be at -5 degrees.
Yeah.
That's still daylight. So I'm not sure how bright is the star, but
Yeah.
it's probably going to be very difficult.
Yeah, probably, but
Yeah, no, that's fine. You can try. I'm just saying. I looked at it and I said I'm not going to observe this one because it's -5. It's kind of
I tagged myself into it just to put something into Occult Watcher so it'll appear here. But having said that, Peter and I have had positives in blue sky. So
oh wow, okay,
yeah. So haven't we?
Very nice. So the other
He's
bits
not
in the green one is the atmospheric extinction. So this is automatically selected. So basically, as the star goes lower towards the horizon, OWC will adjust for the loss of light or brightness of the star. And so this I got from the comet, from the ICQ, International Comet Quarter, or I'm not sure what's the abbreviation. Basically, that they have, hey, if you observe comets and you want to adjust for atmospheric extinction, then this is how you do it. And this is based on papers published by other people and exactly how the extinction works and stuff like that. And they go, if you're in the mountain, you have clean sky, there's no dust. If it's very humid, it's very different. So basically, you just pick one of these. I think that's automatically picked. And then
I found my experience for lower elevation is that the light pollution climbs rapidly, so I find it's kind of worse than just the extinction. If you've got clearer skies, then the extinction is the dominant effect. But for me, the below I go, the light pollution gets far worse.
So the extinction itself on its own may have a factor of, depending on the altitude of the star, up to 1 magnitude. That's extreme a little bit, but it's possible. So 0.5 magnitudes is entirely normal for lower altitude events. So even if you had the perfect clean sky, then again, just on the basis of extinction, you will lose 0.345 magnitudes of the star. So that's why I decided to add this as an additional way to exclude events.
It's very good. Yeah.
If you're mostly concerned about light pollution, then the mag adjust in the blue box is what you want to play with.
Yeah,
so
I just know for me that there's if I'm pointing to an event that's low over the city light dome, then all bets are off. I'd be lucky to get a magnitude 12 at low elevation. Whereas in the other direction, I might still be fine for a magnitude 14. So It's quite variable.
I'll be interested to receive feedback about user experience with those settings. So far, I found that it actually finds more events that I can observe. Sometimes I see something and say, "Oh, this is so exciting! I want to try it," and then it turns out I observe it and it's really up the very limit, and I can't. You know, in the best case scenario, I have like 2 frames, maybe. You know, because we have to observe with the fainter
wow.
stars and more. Long
Hey.
exposure.
I'll put you over there. Right.
And then
I've got two. Yeah.
the last bit, which is the red bit, is the probabilities and other things. So basically, you can exclude based on the RUWE, or I'm not sure if RUE is how it's pronounced. That's the Gaia factor for how accurate the star position is.
Yep.
You can also exclude based on the maximum sigma in path widths. So this is how big is the error, but basically of the prediction. So 1 is probably good. So with 1, you're probably going to skip some of the events of the Trojans and maybe some of the other more newer discovered asteroids, which still don't have a very well-defined orbit. But again, this is a way for people to choose how they want to filter the stuff.
Yep.
And then if you don't filter on max path width, if you uncheck this box, just for the not this one, the max, yeah, this one. So you can either specify a exclusion by maximum path width error, or you can type a probability if you want. So I know that some people really like probabilities. I think probability is a bad way to exclude events. Firstly, because the way they're calculated and the errors in general are not extremely accurate. And we often get complaints, "Hey, I had a 100% probability, but it was a miss."
Yeah.
Well, that's because the errors are actually not very good. So that's why.
Yep.
But basically, but you can do that if you want. So once you've defined your filter, then you can go to the search page. Yeah. And then you can select your filter. If you have only one, to automatically select it. It will automatically select the date, which is today.
Ah, yes, yeah.
And then by default, just search for 1 day. So I found from the way I do it, but everyone does it differently. So I had 1, 3, and 7. The reason is that either I'm looking for events to observe tonight, or 3 is I'm looking on Friday to what I can do on this weekend, or 7 if you want to look for the whole week. And it will come back with the events that it found and see how some of them are tagged, some of them are not. So the third one is interesting. So this one, for example, was excluded by Dave's search. And then with orange, there's some warning flags. So the star is kind of not very bright, 14.6 magnitude. And then the altitude is 15 degrees as well. So these are the 2 bits which are in orange. And so this page you can use to find events for yourself. And maybe I could just show the display options if you click on the 3rd tab, Dave. Yeah. So these are different things you can do. So the map display is what you show on the right. It defaults to globe. And if you really don't need to look at the Google map, it would be nice if you keep the default selection, because Google Map actually costs me money. So I pay for this entire thing, and basically all Google Map usage, it's very small, but a lot of people use it. So every time you go to a Google Map and you do stuff, basically, I get charged for it. That's why in some of the selections I've purposely selected globe rather than Google Map as default, and this is one of them. So you can obviously, no, this is this bit there. You can switch to Google Maps so people can see what it looks like. Yeah, So yeah, this one. So center selection. It's centered on the site, and if you scroll up and down, it will automatically. You can use arrows, but by the way, just
Okay.
no. Just click in the table on the left. Just click somewhere. Yeah, yeah. See, and then it will automatically select, and you can use your arrows, up and down arrows of your keyboard to do the same. So this is a way you can quickly go and have a look at the individual events.
Well,
But
good.
for me, most of the time, it doesn't really matter exactly where the path goes, because these days I never observe mobile. I only observe from my home observatory, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
What the path is. What matters is the Occult Watcher plot at the bottom. And then you can show some, yeah, this one. You can show some extra columns if you care. So you can show the minimum aperture. So this may be a bit confusing, but that's based again on the formula. It's very optimistic, but very optimistic means that you're not going to miss events. So for example, this one, it tells you that you could observe this with a 15 centimeter telescope and 1 second exposure. Because the max duration is 3.67 seconds.
Yep.
So the filter was to get 3 frames, pre-detection frames. So if you were to observe a maximum duration, then based on the calculation, 1 second exposure with a 15 centimeter telescope would have been enough to detect this. I think that's optimistic, but it's something there. So it's hidden by default. Then the distance doesn't really matter these days, but it was originally, hey, how far away is the center if I wanted to go and observe from the center line. Some people do that.
Yes.
And then the other ones, you can show the error in path widths. So see, for example, one of them has 27. That's a very no, that's the red one, the 26, roughly around the middle. Yeah, this one. So this event, for example, has a huge error. Yeah, you can click on it. So see how small is the shadow and how big is is the error bars. And then the V minus R. So recently someone asked me to add a color index if you really cared about this, because we observe with cameras which are more sensitive to red. So it will show you the V minus R.
Okay.
If you care.
Yeah.
And then you also have an option that's the second column on the top. If you just scroll to the top of the page. So this is the data options, show azimuth in degrees. Some people
Yes.
just
I like. That's why I like it.
Yeah, just go west or whatever. Then your magnitude can be in V or R. And then your time could be in UTC or in local time if you want. I work in local time, so I prefer to see it in local time. But obviously Dave works in UTC. And then after that, you have the warning magnitudes just as a warning factor. So 14.5, it will appear in orange. You can play with this, if you are interested. And then the very last one, you can select one of them. Let's say copy, this one. So it will show an extra button there. And then if you click on it, well, it does 2 things. So first of all, it focuses, but then also it copied something in your clipboard. So if you paste your clipboard in Notepad or somewhere, it will have the coordinates of the star. So based on your routine and whether you do some automatic telescope movement or automation, then that's a quick way to get the star coordinates of where you want to go.
Okay, well, I don't want that.
Yeah, and basically that's it. So when you find an event and you want to observe it, you can select it, and then on the right hand side there's add station, and there's also add station will navigate you to the page where you need to pick a station to add from. You still, I think it will automatically select your normal site. But if you didn't want to do this and you just wanted to quickly say, I'm going to observe this event, if you go back, Dave,
that was
there was the second option, observe from Kuriwa, so it will show your default site. And then
That'll
if you
be-
do that, it will actually add the station automatically. You don't need to go through anything, just a shortcut.
Mm,
And then it will automatically show up in your Occult Watcher desktop after that.
yes. Yeah. Okay.
So for the Occult Watcher desktop, one thing that I wanted to try to do, but obviously everything is time consuming, would be Occult Watcher desktop to periodically check for all of your news stations, but it doesn't do this right now. The fastest way to get your prediction back is, instead of doing synchronize now, which will synchronize completely everything, so it will ask for all feeds and know everything, you can go to configuration and then feeds, where is it? Prediction feeds. So if you right click on planned observations,
Planned
that's
observation.
the fourth one from the top.
Yep.
Yeah, so planned observation is every event for which someone has submitted a station for, and that's what we just did. So if
Mhm.
you right click on this and go synchronize,
Okay.
and then go OK, and OK again. Yeah, so it will go and just do this feed. So I'm saying this because this will take a lot, based on how many feeds you subscribe for.
Mm,
This will be much quicker than
okay.
synchronizes everything, but there's no problem to synchronize everything.
Yep.
Ideally, really, this should happen automatically, but it's not how it works right now.
Mm. One for the future. But okay. So.
And then last one was the moon distance in the column. So it has the little like coin looking thing because it's a full moon. That's why
Yep.
it's so yellow, and it shows
Yep.
you the distance from the moon as well.
Great. Okie dokie. Any questions?
I have a feature request.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Hristo, could you add a button so that we can send you money?
Interesting. I can think about this.
What do you want to set up a what do you call it?
Okay, let me say a bit
Patreon
more.
account.
Let me say a bit more about it. So, I have some discussions with IOTA, and they may start paying for some of the server costs, so maybe even all of the server costs for OWC.
Good. About time. So, that was my opinion.
But if you want to send me money, yes, why not? I can add a donation button.
Yep, I would make a donation. Small donation.
Mm-hmm. Good on you, Peter.
So going back to the why we have this meeting in first place, I think Dave is sick of running for 15 years. All of the stuff that he explained, how long it takes, his PCs bogged down all the time, calculating predictions, and he doesn't want to tag the Trans Tasman events anymore. Is this correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I'm
which
over it.
means that in Occult Watcher, if you show it up, can you just show Occult Watcher the desktop? So if you go to the feeds, so far when you go to feeds, configuration, prediction feeds.
So you lost me. Sorry.
Configuration.
Configure. Yes.
Prediction feeds.
Yeah.
So right now, in order to get your Trans Tasman events, you have to tick this checkbox, which is Trans Tasman, whatever that is.
There it is.
Yeah. So basically what Dave is saying is that when he stops uploading his predictions, even that you may have been subscribed for Trans Tasman events, your Occult Watcher desktop is not going to receive any events anymore. And if you want to find events to observe, what you need to do is go to the search page in OWC that we discussed. Obviously, need to create your filter and do your searches.
Yep. Do your searches, whatever you like. One thing, I have a question.
Yeah.
What's the difference when it finishes? Come on, hurry up. what's the difference between, having the filter and this search and
The detailed search,
detailed
yeah,
search?
yeah. So the difference is that they do exactly the same thing, but if you are normally gonna do the same search over and over again, then basically you don't need to do this detailed search. This detailed search
Okay.
is more if you want to play with different parameters to see what they're gonna return you back. But
Yeah.
it takes a bit of a space on your screen
Mhm.
because it has to show all of the different parameters at the same time.
Mm.
So that's why that's another option you can search. I
Yeah.
think that people would probably prefer to save their filter criteria
Yeah.
and use the filter search page, which has a lot
Yeah.
more real estate on it.
So from 1st of January, I'll do December just to finish off the year, but from 1st of January, you won't have all these Trans Tasman events that you just simply click on. People will have to do their own searches. And the first one, correct me if I'm wrong, Bristo, the first observer to find an event that they're interested in, and tag it, announce the station,
Mhm.
then that will appear in Occult Watcher for other people to join.
That's correct. So they need to be subscribed to the what is
The
it called again?
planned
observations.
Yep.
So I forgot now whether this option, whether it was possible to deselect this option. Some of them are forced. Can you check quickly? If you go to configuration prediction feeds, can you deselect the planned observation? It's at the top. Okay, you can. So I think it's ticked by default, but obviously if you've chosen to untick it, you have to tick it again.
Yep.
So planned observations is every single event for which someone has submitted a station.
Okay.
So what's going to happen now is that when people do that, it will be tagged with their name. So if you, Dave, go back to the search results page in OWC at the back, if you just can click on it, see how the event that you submitted the station for has your name against it. They've got
Yep.
this one.
Mhm.
So basically what happens is that in order for, so this is an internal way how OWC works. In order for an event to appear in the Occult Watcher desktop, and in order for its prediction to be automatically updated with the latest orbit in Horizon, it needs to have a tag. So in this case, it just has the name of the first person who selected these events.
Mhm.
And I think, can you hover your mouse over your name, Dave, on this prediction? Yeah, so what does it say?
Yes.
Event selected by Dave Gault.
Mhm.
So this means that someone chose to observe this event, and this is what it is.
Good. Yep. Now, for people who run Macs and they don't have the Occult Watcher desktop, I was playing with this the other day, where you can click on My Events, and it's kind of like the Occult Watcher desktop, but it brings all the events that you've announced stations for to one page on Occult Watcher Cloud. So that's all good.
So one other thing I would like to say is that, as I said, we've been using the search functionality and the filter for probably a year, give or take, probably even more.
Yep.
But the number of people who have used it is not that great. So obviously, with the discontinuation of the Trans Tasman feed, this means that more people will be using the search functionality, and I'm sure that many will have requests for, features or may find bugs or stuff like this. So I expect that I will receive more requests, and please do so. Send me, feedback or bug reports or requests for stuff that you think may make your life easier. And I've already received a bunch of requests for the My Events page, which is this one here, to try to improve it. For example, make it a bit similar to the search result where you can copy, you can control the highlighting and everything, and maybe just copy
Oh,
the
okay.
the coordinates of the star, for example,
Mhm,
or
mhm.
do other things. But please do share your opinion and provide feedback.
Well, one thing that occurs to me right away, this is Murray Forbes. If I had a filter that allowed me to say, what is the direction the path is running, I would naturally choose it so it ran up and down the North Island. Give top priority to those events, because that's most likely that I'll have other observers in New Zealand observing the same event, as opposed to the east-west, which would, I guess, be equivalent to the Trans Tasman previous feed.
Mhm.
I would say that that's going to be tricky to implement, and it's very niche for. I understand that it's important for you guys, but I'm not going to promise. I'm not going to promise that I can do that. So the other obvious thing is that I developed this in my own time, and then I don't have free time. I don't have a lot of it. So unfortunately, I do have to make decisions such as, I may get a lot of feature requests, but some of them are more important than others. And I'm not saying that the folks in New Zealand are not important, but I'm saying that probably this feature is not going to be used by many people around the world.
You used to have a thing, I haven't seen it for a while, where you listed stuff you were working on. Is that still available?
No, because most of it was kind of done, and then it's not anymore. So I don't share my pipeline. But things which I'm working on right now, maybe I can share a bit about this. First one is I'm not sure how many of you are doing personal predictions in Occult Watcher Desktop. If you know what this is, so you can run events in Occult. Then you can save the events in the old Occult format, which is not the XML format. And then you can set up a personal prediction feed in Occult Watcher Desktop. And then these events will show up for you. And when you announce a station for one of them, it will become available to everyone. So one thing which I want to do, and my main driving points are to make the server more reliable, and also to make the predictions better and generally move forward. So I decided to discontinue this feature, which is currently people can generate those predictions, but if they announce a station for it, it's not going to appear to everyone. So what I want to do is I see no reason for people to be doing this because OWC should be generating sufficient, well, should be finding all events basically. I know it's not, but it should be. So everyone who finds events that are not automatically calculated by OWC, I'd actually like to know what they are, because I can improve OWC to do that. However, I recognize that people sometimes may be interested in very niche events that they can observe. So I'll allow everyone to use the upload events page. So right now, Dave, can you show that? If you go to upload events. So what happens normally is that you can have a file generated by Occult, which is the XML format file. You pick this file. You can pick one of them if you if you want. Doesn't really matter. You can pick one of the files. You can upload the files to the server. It will go and tell you how many events, and then you click one of these tags. So right now, Dave can see a bunch of tags. So this is Trans Tasman, Lucky Star, Priority, IOTA, and Seabed Moons. This is because he's the maintainer or administrator for all of these tags. But probably everyone else who doesn't maintain their own feeds and have not been used this page currently cannot upload anything. So what I'm doing right now, and hopefully to be released very soon, is that I will allow everyone to upload events if they have found events which are not in Occult Watcher Cloud. And when they come to this page, their name will be automatically selected, and they will be tagged with their name, and they can choose the file and can upload the events. There's a couple of caveats. The first one is that there will be limit of how many events people can upload. And right now I'm thinking of 100 events a month. And if someone is finding more than this, I'm more than happy to increase this when they contact me. But basically that's the idea. So I know that because OWC has the limit of 0.2 seconds, there's some events which slip through, and these are events which have bright stars, probably stars brighter than magnitude 12, and have maximum duration of less than 0.2 seconds. And this could be totally observable events. So if you have an 11 magnitude star and 0.1 second event, that's 100 milliseconds. So that's entirely, observable event. So these ones I know are not in there, and some people are generating their own predictions for them. So as the feature of the personal predictions in Occult Watcher desktop are going away, that's going to be the new way for people to upload events.
Good.
And
Yep.
what I want to say is that I'll be looking at trying to make this automatic sometime in the future. So I think that's probably a more important feature or a way for me to spend my time on OWC development, to find those events with brighter stars and shorter durations rather than doing some of the other requests.
Is there any plans to other people like me who are creating their own feed and uploading? Is there any plans to get them to wind up their current methods, or is there a bit of resistance?
I don't know. So you were the first one who was willing to do that. But the other thing is that probably me and you communicate a bit more. So maybe you were just more aware of the search page and what was happening, and that's why you decided to go this way.
Yeah.
But I don't see a reason why the other people cannot stop doing that.
These ones here, as events, they seem to be. I don't think I've ever seen one of those that's really doable. You know, a 0.2 second event involving a Mag 14 star.
Yeah, I know. So look, that's an open platform for everyone, as you know, so people can choose whatever they want to choose. So in Arizona, in the States, people are subscribed to the AZ events. I'm not sure what the observers who receive this feed think about the amount of noise that they receive, but they can talk to the
But
owner.
I can't. It's not here, and I can't untag it.
Yeah, so this is the community tags. So at some point when people started asking for having more and more feeds, I just found it's harder to add a new checkbox every time someone asks for a new feed.
Yeah.
So that's why I call those community feeds.
Yeah.
And you're getting this one because you're subscribed to the community feeds event.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people in Arizona running like 14, 16, 18-inch telescopes. So that's the reason they have that in that feed.
Yeah.
If I could just return to Murray's question, trying to find out the events that are going kind of up New Zealand. In Occult Watch desktop, one of the options is to have the travel distance displayed, and that shows the travel distance and the angle that you have to travel. And that will give you a rough idea of the orientation of the path. It won't be perfect because sometimes that path is curved, but that will help.
Okay, so there's something easy I can do. That's easy. If you go, Dave, to the search page and the results. Yeah. So just do a search. So you know how there was a travel distance column there in the display options? I can easily add the angle there. So if you go to the display options, it's not shown by default, Dave. The display options tab. Just select the travel distance. Yeah, this one. So what I can do is I can add an angle on this screen.
Okay.
If this is going to help you guys.
Okay, so you're looking for something
So
that's
that's
going to be
easy.
running.
That's correct. Yeah.
Either what's that? Would that be angle?
Probably about
don't know.
25 degrees, something
Well,
like that.
20
you would know what it is, but if this is
25
going to help
degrees
you,
or negative 25. Yep.
Yeah, it depends. If you're going Wellington to Auckland, I think is a little bit east of Wellington. But Murray will figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But
So-
that's one quick way of getting a
I
rough idea
can.
where it
So
might go.
that's an easy thing to do. You know,
Yeah, right.
while the other one to incorporate this into the search filter is a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, my thoughts on this is I've been using the detailed search for quite some time, and it got to the point where the large majority of my events I was finding from the detailed search in Occult Watch Cloud, because it enabled me to find events that were viable but weren't appearing on the feed. So this would be for fainter stars, sometimes brighter stars at shorter durations, and various other things. So I'd encourage people just to basically, when you start doing this, don't put a limit on the star magnitude. Rely on the scope aperture and be generous until you kind of figure out what the limits of your system are. So I think by doing this, I think you will actually find a lot more opportunities than just by finding what was in the feeds.
Yeah. Good.
And this is one other advantage of using this method compared to the feeds, because the feeds, they have been custom handpicked and curated list, but it is hard to, as what Dave showed you, it is hard to be able to find every single possible event.
Yeah,
and look at it.
Yeah, what I tend to pick up, the sort of two categories that I pick up are asteroids that are smaller than go into the feed. What was your limit on asteroid diameter, Dave?
I go down to 1 kilometer for magnitude 9 stars.
Yep. But then sometimes I think it's when the asteroid is at quadrature, the length of the event greatly increases, and it could be like 5, 10, 20 times longer.
Yep.
So we weren't really getting those events coming through the feeds for the smaller asteroids. But if you just use the Occult Watcher search, and the one that was posted on IOTA today or yesterday about what's like an asteroid where the duration was like 10 times longer than normal. So this will pick up all of those events. And also for me, it was picking up events that were fainter but longer duration. Where, with an exposure of 300 milliseconds or 500 milliseconds, I'm able to push to like mag 15 and sometimes beyond that. And those events weren't coming through the feed. So for me, it's given me a lot more events that I actually have success on.
Oh, good. Good to know.
So I see this as a positive step forward. So
we all hope is a positive step, and I'm also excited because this will basically expose this functionality that has been there for quite a long of time to many people, and as more people were using it, then more people will be providing feedback, and the functionality can be improved.
One thing Dave Herald is displaying sometimes is on the sky plane plot of results is the diameter of the star.
So I was thinking about this, and I was thinking of adding an option in the Occult Watcher plot, the purple plot, probably first in Occult Watcher. So if you open up the desktop Occult Watcher desktop application.
Get all this out of the way. Occult Watcher.
So this is on my list of things, but it's somewhere towards the top, but it's not in the first few top priorities features. But I thought about this.
I've got too many windows open. Where is it? Come on. Oh, let's see. Why does it do that? It keeps on opening up another.
Yeah. So if you run it again, it will kill the old one and run a new one. That's how it works.
Right.
Yeah. So if you select an event, doesn't matter which one. So see the plot. So there's the big blue bit, which is the shadow,
Yeah.
the solid red bit, which is the 1 sigma line. So I was thinking under the blue bit to show a little yellow bit, which shows the star size, so you can compare it to the size of the asteroid.
Yeah, but what I was trying to say is Bill got one that had an even bigger star in relation to the asteroid, and the maximum duration was 0.4 of a second.
Okay, I see what you mean.
But it had expected fades of 0.15 of a second, so the actual duration was tiny. So in other words, my filters excluded it on duration. So
so that's a good point, and probably something that I could be able to easily incorporate into the filters automatically based on the max duration. The only trouble is because Occult would filter out the events based on the I think I need to check with Dave Harold, but I think it will filter out events based on the duration without the applied star diameter.
Correct.
Then I can't do that easily. So basically the event needs to be at least 0.26 seconds.
Yeah.
But if there's a stellar diameter involved, this would make the total duration of the event longer. And this means that if the event would have been excluded before based on your individual filter criteria, if I apply this correction, you would be able to see more events because the number of detection frames will be larger, if this makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, while we're doing that, Renato has put a question in the chat window. Do you want me to read it out? Or
yes,
would you
please. No.
Okay. Could we please add a feature where the prediction changes to a chosen color if the travel distance is smaller than half the path width?
I would say that you can use the Google the zoom maps and individually judge the distance. I'm really sorry I have to not accept feature requests, but I think there's a different way you can do this.
All right. Well, put it in writing, and you can mull over it and answer yay or nay, or add it to your list or not.
So I have a list of things, which is some of them are so old, really. That there was a page online where I kept all of the feature requests I've ever received. But because some of them I haven't touched for many years, then some of them would pretty much end up in the same place.
Okay.
Yeah, you should have that donate for feature.
Yes.
That
It's a bit
will
different,
get them
right?
moving.
So if you tell me
easy feature, $50, hard feature,
I'm going to
$500.
pay you that much to implement that feature, then I can think about it. Yes. So
at the moment, you're fully in control
how
of your
much
own
would you pay for this feature?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Understood.
It all takes time and effort, and sometimes people make a perfectly innocent request, and then you think about how it's going to take, and it's going to be really hard.
I know that people are very excited, and I'm actually very happy about this because it looks like this is useful. All of the stuff that with the Occult Watcher or the Occult Watcher Cloud is obviously useful because people are using it.
Yeah, that detailed search with the aperture, that was the game changer for me. As soon as that happened, it just opened up. I got it was a combination of the Gaia predictions basically trashing the viability of my activity because it was either 100% or zero.
Yeah.
And you basically had nothing to do. But then the detailed search gave me a lot more opportunities. So it's kind of balanced it up. So, smaller asteroids, shorter duration events, fainter objects than on the feed, and it's kind of balanced the scales for me.
Excellent. I'll look forward to processing from events from you, Murray. Woo.
There's still one thing we can't predict, though, Dave.
Clouds.
Yes.
I think we
Ah.
can. La Nina for Auckland, which means easterlies and northeasterlies, which means there's probably going to be a lot of cloud for the next couple of months. But fortunately, I now have an 8-inch mead, which I can take with me fairly easily. So I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah, well, November's a write-off for me anyway. Here's my doggy.
Oh, wow.
Hello. All right. Any more questions? I think I think I've just about had enough. Fire questions.
Yeah, I'll just make that comment again. Just put your filters wide open, and then learn by experience to figure out, what works for you. You'll get a lot more events and opportunities, as long as, of course, you're willing to, try for an event and then find out after you've recorded or as you set up that it's not viable. But that's the only way to learn the limits of your system.
Yep. Sounds good.
And the only other comment I'm going to make, so one of the things in my list are things which is kind of higher priority, and I'll look at it sooner rather than later. Because the whole system is free and everyone is free to do whatever they wish and send as many requests as they wish to the server. So sometimes I find periods where the server is really busy and I'm not exactly sure of what's happening, but I would like to implement some extra limits, probably on the number of requests that are sent to the server per user. I hope that this will be reasonable and really just trying to catch people who may be running automated software, because I know some are doing this and are hitting the pages automatically and trying to do stuff. So just so you know, if you're not doing that, then you're perfectly fine. But if you are basically using the system too much, which means in an automated way, then there are probably going to be some limits, which is going to throttle probably the number of requests that are sent.
Okay. Steve, do you want to wrap up?
Wrap up?
If you,
Yep. Hour and a half. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I've learned a heap this afternoon, and I'd already been paying it for a fair while. And I think the other thing I've noticed is that Hariso clearly must have got some more spare time, because there's things keep changing from the last time I went in, and got to keep visiting again and looking for the new features. So, big round of virtual applause for Dave and Hariso for this afternoon.
Thank you. Good.
Excellent. And perhaps we can have a like a follow up of how it went at Tamworth.
Yep.
What the post Trans Tasman feed landscape looks like, and whether
I may actually consider coming to Tamworth. I've never been there before.
I've driven past the edge of it, but no, that would be great, Hariso. Good to see you in person. Yeah, so thank you for this afternoon. Murray's been recording. We'll try and get this onto YouTube somehow. I'll need to get something onto the web page. Probably going to end up with something of a library of these sorts of extra videos and stuff outside of TTSOs, sort of inviting people to do how-to talks, stuff like that. Sort of something of a longer term aim. Thank you for your attendance this afternoon, and we look forward to you either at Tamworth or whenever we call one of these again.
And just one very last comment. So request or comment actually. So if you want to send me a request or contact me, the best way to do it is to send me email directly, because these days I don't really follow the emails through all of the occultation groups, and I don't read them. So if you want to get my attention, just have to send me direct email.
I'm a bit the same way. Very good. Thank you.
Great.
Okay, well, I'll stop recording now.
Okay. Bye.